your hands together for Mr. Will Cunningham.
Good afternoon. I said good afternoon. It's Sunday, the sun is shining. We are out here, we're united. Good afternoon. Are you fed up with what's happening here? Are you ready to tell the world that we demand change right here in South Jersey? If you are, then make sure you make a small donation to Black Lives Matter this afternoon. Because we have to put money behind the power. Pull out your phone and make a note to do that. Now I want you to do something else. I want you to go on social media and go live right now because I want people to hear what I got to say. I'm done making suggestions. We're all done making suggestions. You're about to hear some demands. I'm Will Cunningham, a proud black man who knows what it's like to be homeless. I know what it's like to have the odds stacked against you. And I know what it's like to only be 13 years old, as I was, when I had my black body thrown to the ground in Vineland by a police officer because I was at the wrong place at the wrong time. I know what it's like to be handcuffed. I know what it's like to be scared and angry and wonder if you will get out alive. I'm also a young black man who is fighting against generational power structures, running to be your next congressman. I'm an Ivy League graduate of Brown University and University of Texas School of Law. I'm a former Teach for America teacher. And until I joined this race, I was an investigator on Capitol Hill, whose work led to nationwide reforms that have saved lives. I'm all of these things. A kid who grew up in South Jersey, going to the skating rink right here in Franklinville, and a man who goes to work in a suit every day. But when the police see me, they don't see an educated black man. They see a black man. When I walk down the street or walk into a room, in the eyes of many, my blackness walks in first, rather than my humanity. And that puts me in danger. As a black man, I'm in danger for existing in this skin. Black people are in danger when they go for a jog. We are in danger for walking down the street. We are in danger for laying in our beds peacefully asleep at night. We've been saying their names. You know their names. Say them again. Ahmaud Arbery.
Ahmaud Arbery.
George Floyd.
George Floyd.
Breonna Taylor.
Breonna Taylor.
White.
Bill White.
All of them. All our brothers and sisters. America. And this is unacceptable. We have to do better. Our country must be a place where justice is truly blind, where justice is served in our courtrooms, and where death sentences are not handed out on the street with a knee on our necks. That's not justice. That's murder.
Yep.
South Jersey, we gotta do better. And looking at this crowd, this sea of black, brown, and white faces standing together in solidarity, standing against police brutality and anti-black violence, standing together for the America I've been working for throughout my entire career. I'm inspired and I'm hopeful because I'm a child of God, Ms. Beverly. You know that. We've been talking. So much has already happened in this country as a result of the protests. People like us all over the country and the world will make sure we do better because we're not just outraged, we're united. And united, we are unstoppable.
Yeah.
We will do better because this is not just a moment, it's a movement.
Yes.
It's time. And we will win. And when we win, we can't simply stop after black and brown bodies are no longer brutalized on the streets. That's the bare minimum. That's survival. We can do more than survive, South Jersey. We're going to strive. We're going to thrive. United, we can have to make a better world for all of us. We can fight for health care for all, not just for some. Black people have died from COVID at 3 times the rate of whites. Unacceptable. We've got to do better. It's time. We can fight for an equitable education system. Poor rural kids and black and brown kids in urban areas should receive the same education as wealthy white kids. We can do that. We can fight for that. It's time. And people who go to work every day should be able to live off the earnings that they make. They should make a living wage. My mom makes $12 an hour. Well, yeah, I'm an Ivy Leaguer. I'm an Ivy Leaguer from a working class family who does not have to look very far at all to see struggle in our community. I see it every day. And I live here and I understand it. It's time to wait that wages are at a level to actually lift up our communities. It is time. Black people have been told for hundreds of years, to fall in line, to step back, to wait our turn. We have been told to accept inequity, to accept injustice, even to accept the death of our loved ones, quietly and without outrage. We are told to make suggestions, to politely suggest things, that things change. Black people aren't doing that anymore. And you know what? George Floyd's heartless murder has awoken a collective consciousness in white people too. They're not suggesting that things simply change either. They're standing with us in solidarity. Look around. Look around you. They're here. And we are here together. We are stopping suggesting things. We are demanding. Yes. And we won't stop until we win. Yes. It is time. We aren't just demanding change nationally, but locally. We are demanding things change right here in South Jersey. And globally. But let's talk about New Jersey real quick, because we demand law enforcement be held accountable for the death of Maurice Green 2 weeks ago. A new 28-year-old black man shot to death by some Jersey State trooper on the side of the Garden State Parkway. 6 times he was shot. Maurice Gordon was unarmed. Maurice Gordon was not under arrest. We demand justice for Maurice Gordon.
Yes.
We demand that the New Jersey State police officer responsible for his murder is charged and brought to justice.
Yes.
And we demand the corrections officer at Bayside State Prison who participated in a gross public display of hate and ignorance at a peaceful rally right here in Franklinville. We demand that he is not allowed to hold a job in our justice system any longer.
Yes.
We don't suggest this, we demand it. It's time. And I'm demanding something else, and I'm about to get political. If you don't like it, I'm sorry. I'm apologizing in advance. And I hope you'll stand with me as I do. I'm demanding we have legislators at all levels of government with black and brown skin. I demand that we are represented in the halls of power. I demand we have leadership who knows struggle, who gives a damn, who understand what it's like to have struggled against institutionalized racism. Those closest to the pain have to be closest to the power.
Yes.
I've done the work on Capitol Hill as an investigator of the most corrupt and racist president in the country's history. It's time. Black people have known this time for a long time.
Yes.
And white people, thank you for realizing it today too.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm going to challenge you all today. I'm running against 2 opponents who don't know our struggle, who have no idea what it would be like to be thrown on the pavement, fearful a knee might land on their necks. People who have come from power and privilege. I know their heart is in the right place, but they should not be representing our district. A district with so many black and brown folks who desperately need true and real representation. Let's all demand during this pivotal moment in history, we don't step back when we mail those ballots back. We step forward. We let's demand from ourselves and everyone we know that we don't do what we've always done. More of the same. It's not going to work for us. It has not worked for us. It is not working for us. We must demand change. We must demand action. And we must demand black representation. If Black Lives Matter, so does black representation.
Yes.
I can demand it all I want, but only each of you can make it happen. You demand today that Black Lives Matter. Ask yourself, does your commitment to Black Lives Mattering mean only that black folks aren't murdered on the streets? Does it mean you come to a rally but you cast votes that perpetuate wealthy white power structures? Looking at the people in this crowd, I don't believe that's true. And I don't think you do either. Rallies are critically important, but so is making your vote matter. Take your support to social media and demand change. Tell your network to vote for Will Cunningham and other black and brown candidates all over the country. Take that support and volunteer for campaigns that represent real change. And take that support into the voting booth with you. Make your vote a demand for real change because there is no time to wait. South Jersey, we are done. We're done with anti-black violence. We're done with inequity and hollow promises. We're done with wealthy white people thinking their privilege gives them a ticket to power. And we're done with suggestions and endless waiting. Now is the time when we demand. We demand safety. We demand fairness. And we demand change. And I'll leave you with this. It's time. The time to work for change is now. And make no mistake, the work of creating change is not just a sprint of outrage. It's a marathon of persistence. Let me say that again for y'all. I don't think you heard it. The work of creating change is not a sprint of outrage. It is a marathon of persistence. It is a marathon started by my ancestors who were determined to flee slavery for freedom. That was the start of this marathon. They started the race generations ago and have handed the baton to those courageous enough to keep running, to stay in the race, to demand equality and justice even when they are tired. And we are tired and we are exhausted, but we are not giving up. Today, we have the baton in our hands, South Jersey, and don't let anyone tell you otherwise. We are in this marathon together, and we will not tire. Together, we will win this race. It is time. Thank you. Will Cunningham, y'all. Come on. Will Cunningham,